Death Battle is back!
Somebody wants to make the
It's
world
time to go. I gotta go make a video about this as fast as possible. Time to
Got a
go!
done with a finger and a thumb in the shape of a nail on her forehead. Well, we're coming in, got some the bone and hit the ground running. And it makes sense to live up front. It's smart, like your head gets now. So much do, so much see. So what's wrong with dick in the back? Never know if you don't go. If you don't glow, hey now. Get the game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, the show on, go play. And all that glitter is gone. There's only shooting stars, break them mold.
Okay, I'm back. And the day is September 22nd. Oh my god, how long have I been gone? Well, I'm here now. Now, let's get to the intro. Hi guys, Barry Trumley here once again, and I am back from the dead, baby. Yes. And then better late than never, because Death Battle is back. I would have talked about this sooner, but I had other stuff to do. Yeah, let's say that. Anyway, I am here now. I might be a little late to the party, but I'm still one to capitalize there. So, without any further ado, let's begin. So, if you are unaware, Death Battle has been not really lively lately. Ever since, before all of this happened, and the Rooster Teeth became bankrupt and closed its doors and shut down its website. And Rooster Teeth is the owner of Death Battle. So Death Battle is out of a job, is out of a big business now, which means Death Battle is now an indie platform, the web show, joining the likes of many others. But the main thing in here is that Death Battle needs some help. There was people passing over to sponsors there, and even though it has a membership function, those ones people don't really go for the full maximum money spending on it. So Death Battle was stuck there until they have an idea of starting a Kickstarter page. When they put out a whole bunch of battles on it there. They made a big gold trailer and said 4 matchups were going to be made. So they made those 4 matchups there. They'll put a little bit of some details and animation in them. And then after that there, they started the page there with 4 matchup we go off there and set the bar to $70,000. It's a pretty large amount of money. So, I mean, that would be not that hard. But then Death Battle just hit that amount of money in 21 minutes. They did it in 9 plus 10 minutes. 21? You stupid. Anyway, the 4 matches were crushed there, and Death Battle added in a little bit of some more stuff on it there. They also had a nice trailer to another matchup there that I'll be talking about in a bit. And it's looking pretty good so far, or I must say. After that there, then they just crushed a lot more, until a little bit after a week it began, it started to slow down a little bit. But the internet people were all going crazy about this there. Everybody was going on their social media platforms like Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay, you name it. People were typing in the hashtag Save Death Battle. Our tagline in it. And they did a mission accomplished there. They even thrown in the one matchup there for free because we saved Death Battle so well we deserved it. And now, time to start dancing around these battles. Time to tell you what are these battles. So, without any further ado, let's begin, shall we? So the first ones there are the 2 matchups there that can confirm they're earning big old trailer. The first one is Omni-Man versus Bardock. And to be honest, my opinion on it is kind of nothing. I mean, Invincible Season 2 dropped not that long ago. Oh, but Omni-Man was not really the one I was expecting them to bring back or do a battle with, because well, they already did a battle with Omni-Man. It happened like in season 9, was it? Yeah, season 9. Like, that was not even like, it was only like 2 years ago. So why would they do it again and not some like Adam, Eve, or Invincible? Well, I don't know. So let's just get on to the next one. Bowser versus Eggman. And this matchup there, I have said in a couple of my season trail and prediction videos, which sadly might die out because Death Valve's not doing season anymore. They're posting in matchup in videos those not in the season format but in year format. Like this season of Death Battle Season 11 is now Death Battle 24 and / Death Battle 25. Alright, so yeah, that's something. Anyway, now let's get back on top to Bowser vs. Eggman. And Bowser vs. Eggman is a matchup there that I, as many other people, knew was going to happen at some point in the show. It was history, just not knowing when. So I put it inside my season list just to be safe there, if anything bad happened. And so I leave it in there just to be safe. And it looks like it finally happened there. And from the sneak peek battle we've seen of it, it looks pretty good. Of course, it's in beta animation, so it's not fully complete yet. But for what we've seen, it looks pretty darn good. The hand-drawn animation was not what I was going for, but it looks pretty darn well. And in starting the battle off with a treat of Eggman saying, "I come to make an announcement," is just funny. That's pretty funny and a good reference. And I would like to see what they can do. Next up there we got the matchup that is, won the Tournament of Champions. It's Tom versus Wily. Not much to say about this matchup that I already said about it. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the next one. The next one is a little bit something that nobody was really expecting. It is Light Yagami versus Columbo. And this matchup has blown up very recently. Ever since Galaxy Grudge Matches Max posted a video about his top 10 top 10 of his most wanted death battles there, and put Light Yagami vs. Columbo on the front there, it blown up pretty fast, dethroning Walter White as Light's best matchup. And leading Breaking Bad to probably not going to get an episode on Death Battle. Unless Death Battle does something like Angel Dust versus Jesse Pinkman, then Breaking Bad's not getting on Death Battle anytime soon. And even then, that matchup's not going to happen this season. Anyway, back on topic there. Light vs. Columbo is now very popular. Death Battle themselves know about this matchup's existence because they reference it in 3 death battles in a row. As we've seen inside Gojo vs. Makima, as Makima is learning about everything in seconds. And then again inside the 3rd door, door number 3, when Courage open it and see Mr. Columbo saying, "Oh, there's one more thing." And we also see it again inside of an arcade machine in Rick versus the Doctor, as in Light vs. Columbo, the Kira files. So yeah, Death Battle knows about this matchup's existence, so it's only going to be a matter of time for them to do it. And that time has come. Of course, it's not really a big one there, probably like some say it's going to be like a joke matchup, but I'm pretty sure I want to see how it looks out there. I'm not the most hyped for it, but I like to see what they can cook up. Next up there we have Kratos versus Azura. Yep, that's right. The matchup that lost the Tournament of Champions is back, mainly because they got 2nd place in both polls. Wait, hold on, what? You're saying Kratos vs. Azura defeated Spy vs. 47, aka the guy from TF2, aka the game that got nothing but disrespect on Death Battle? That matchup? Yeah, I find that hard to believe. Anyway, from the bit of trailer or animation we've seen of that matchup, battle, it looks pretty darn good. good. The 3D animation looks smooth as butter. And Oz was just waltzing into Kratos' house. And the battle's going to start right after that. Yeah, I would like to see what they can do with this matchup. Yeah, although I know that Kratos is going to die very badly, Oswaldozing universes is something that is way outside of Kratos' league. And in Oswald's first boss was a being that was going to destroy the Earth. That's a planned level threat. And he just one-shotted him in his base form. That's right, one shot in base. Kratos is not going to do so well here. But who knows? Maybe he might pull off a miracle. We'll just have to see. Anyway, next up we have a rematch. Match of our choice. The three matchups that they decided to give us there are Ben versus Green Lantern. They're one of the most memeable death battles out there. Heck, if you got yourself shown on SMG4, aka the YouTuber that has basically he takes memes across the world and puts them all in one video, then you know you're doing something right. And I just hope they get this matchup right. Next up, they have Yang versus Tifa. Yeah, I'm confused why they bring that one back. Of course, yes, I know. People and their grandma knows that Yang versus Tifa is wrong. Yeah. But do I want to see them do it again? And so they can get the matchup right? No, not at all. Unless something new happened to those characters, here's what will make the fight more interesting, and then I don't want to see it again. Look at Mario, and at least the ones that were done a long time ago, like Mario and over Sonic there, they got new stuff. Same with Link versus Cloud. Well, mainly Link. Link and not much Cloud. But the point is their rematch matchup there has to have something new with the character there. And unless it's like a legacy matchup there, like the first death battle they ever did, like Samus versus Boba Fett, then they're not doing it. Or something like a big legacy one there. Goku versus Superman is a prime example there. They did it after Dragon Ball. Goku got itself his new Ultra Instincts one. The new super powerful one. So it would make the fight more interesting. And it was really fun. Nothing really... I know Yang got herself like 6 extra seasons. And Tifa had like something. But nothing else really changed here to make it really necessary for it to happen. Unlike this next one there of Master Chief versus Doom Guy. And I'm down for this matchup. This matchup there is like a matchup I expect to stomp this season. Like landslide. But I will be surprised. Because, well, there's a couple other matchups here that are overshadowing it. Two matchups. The two matchups that are also... Those two matchups also came in the exact same season. And those two matchups are Tracer versus Scout and Shadow versus Mewtwo. Yeah, why those two matchups? And why are they destroying the poll so far? To be honest, I can't tell you. Tracer versus Scout is my least favorite matchup there. Because I'm a TF2 fan, and I think Scout was done dirty. Of course, seeing him I want to see him do TF2 get some justice. Oh, hell yeah. Do I want to see Scout fight my Tracer again? Not really. Yeah, nothing really has changed about these two since we last seen them. I mean, last TF2 update happened in 2017, which was somewhere near Tracer vs. Scout's release date. And Overwatch, Tracer has got herself a lot more feats. But I feel like we can use some other different TF2 characters in here. Like, maybe we can bring in Spy or Heavy or Soldier or someone else other than the same Boston Batsman as we already seen before. And now let's talk about Shadow vs. Mewtwo. this matchup is universally claimed one of the worst death battles of all time. Mainly because they have Shao's voice actor do a bad job on purpose. Yes, I don't know why, but people want to see this matchup done justice. Yes, and people also just want to see these matches redone because of one reason. Because the original was bad. Which is a decently good reason, but then again it's kind of boring. I know you don't like the outcome of the battle there, but nothing new has changed with these characters there. You're just going to see the same battle again, only just a little bit more polished, and the analyses were good. But and maybe a couple other stuff changed here and there. But apart from that, nothing else really is universally different. So yeah. Don't understand why you guys are getting so hyped about this one there. But if I had to pick one, and I'm gonna say Shao versus Mewtwo might have this one there. People on the internet is going crazy for this matchup there. Everybody's going crazy for this matchup known as Shad 2, as they call it on Reddit. And it's blowing up. With the new Sonic movie coming out and Shao being a main part of it there, gives people reason there to make this matchup happen. So I guess I can kinda see it. Not really get into the whole reason for it, but I can live with it. Next up, we got a hand-drawn battle made by Luis. And I'm not sure which matchup it's going to be, but I'm going to say it's going to be Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake. Just a gut feeling. Next up we got is Memento versus Shinaraki. Memento versus Shinaraki. I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, Memento versus Shigaraki is a matchup I know the least about. I mean, I think one of them is from My Hero Academia and has the ability to turn people into stone. Yeah, that's it. This is also a Jujutsu Kaisen matchup. So sadly, I don't think I really see Yuji versus Denjin happening this season. That's right, I said Yuji. I got his name wrong last time. Anyway, after passing the total nothingness, we have Aang versus Traveler. The first Genshin Impact matchup there, and I gotta say this there. Death Battle. You took a series known as Genshin Impact, the show that gets that's on YouTube channel, and also has their sponsor more times and pimples on a teenage face. And that said game is also known for having women that people simp for or non-stop. So you decide to take a boy away from that said game. I'll address your priorities here, Death Battle. I'm also surprised they went with this matchup and not Aang vs. Captain Planet, since they wanted to do Aang vs. Captain Planet. But who knows? Maybe they are doing Captain Planet vs. the Toxic Avenger in this season. And who knows? Next up, we have episode 200. And to be honest there, I was expecting something kind of tying in there. Something like Sarge versus Soldier or some other big matchup. But what I saw instead warmed my heart. It's Ash versus Yugi, my most wanted matchup. Man, does it feel good. Good to finally see it happening. I am the happiest man alive. I also like the fact there that at the episodes 125 to 200 were all technically kind of joke matchups. Looking back on the other ones there, episode 25 was Goku versus Superman, and which was a big request as back in those days. Episode 50 was Goku vs. Superman 2, another big request back in those days. Episode 75 was the Power Rangers versus Voltron, aka the Megazord versus Voltron. A matchup that also is a big request. As in episode 100 was Mario versus Sonic. Like a matchup there that people were debating who would win there ever since both series came along and the rivalry of Sega and Nintendo started. So those were all matchups taken very seriously. Then here comes these ones there of episode 125, which was Goro versus Machamp, a matchup that was popular back in the olden days of Death Battle. Then brought back to life there, seen as nothing more as a joke, but was really good. Episode 150 was Macho Man versus Kool-Aid Man, another big joke. Episode 175 was Rocket Raccoon versus Stitch, a matchup which was also seen as somewhat of a joke. And now we have Ash versus Yugi, a matchup which is not a joke like the other ones, but more funny. It's like Rocket versus Stitch here, as in it's not a joke matchup, but it is a funny matchup. I can't wait to see what they can do with Ash versus Yugi. I want to see what they can cook up. Next up, we have a Torian 3D matchup there, and Torian has not been a part of Death Battle for years now. It's been 7 years, I think. Wait. It's been 6 years. Well, when his matchup might come out, it's going to be 7 years. It's been 7 years! Anyway, I'm gonna say, hey, this matchup might be a Spy versus 47. Well, unless Tracer versus Scout pulls off the win and wins the rematch poll. But who knows what's gonna happen. Next up we got is Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern. And this matchup was also on the old 2D poll back before the Tournament of Champions was around. And yeah, this one was pretty darn close to winning. In an alternate universe, I could see this matchup pulling off a W. And again, most of these matchups could have pulled off a W. Well, except for Ori vs. Dungeon Fall Guys vs. Among Us, but Fall Guys vs. Among Us has a pretty good chance of happening in this season. I'll talk about it a little bit later, though. Anyway, Kyle Rayner vs. Simon the Digger probably was the second most voted matchup in the 2D poll, only losing to Bill vs. Discord by a couple votes. Same with Mordecai Rigger vs. Finn and Jake, and Captain America vs. Kamen Rider Ichigo. Sadly, Captain America vs. Kamen Rider Ichigo, I don't think it has a best shot happening this season. It's not, it can happen, but it's not likely, and I don't fully see it fully happening. Sorry there, Captain America vs. Kamen Rider Ichigo fans. We're going to have to wait another year until Death Battle 26 happens. Anyway, I wonder what Kyle Rayner vs. Simon the Digger can do. Now let's get on to the next one. Next up we got is another live action battle. Okay. And in judging by the last two live action matchups there were both Marvel versus DC fights. So I expect something different. I expect something like Captain Jack Sparrow versus Indiana Jones. A matchup that I will talk about of why I like it in a bit. But until then, let's wait on to the next one. Next up is Ruby versus Maka. Again, another big matchup. Confirmed and for a long time. Now it's finally happening. Next up we got is Hulk versus Godzilla. Another matchup on the Tournament of Champions that lost. This matchup surprised me that they did this one. And of all the other matchups there that was really big and popular in the Tournament of Champions poll, they choose this one of all of them. It's weird they choose this one over something like Luz vs. Zen or Scorpion versus Wolf. But I guess I can live with it. And finally, as the matchup there that is just a big old thank you gift and is most definitely going to be the season finale of the Death Battle Kickstarter season, Gru versus Megamind. Me, like many others, has fully expected this matchup to stomp one of the Tournament of Champions, doing a full sweep over all of them. It was not until we saw Scooby-Doo versus Courage that people seen in said, hey, I like that matchup there. I like Toon Force versus Toon Force matchups. We need to have more of these stats. So people that like Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog, which, spoiler alert, was everybody, banded together there and just barely pulled a W over Gru versus Megamind. And so, congratulations. And it only made sense there for this match to happen at some point. And also, I felt like this matchup could have won their tournament champions, and that it lost there. It missed a whole lot of good marketing placements there. I mean, Megamind 2 and the Megamind TV show came out some time ago, same with Despicable Me 4. So the perfect time to do it there would have been at those times where those two things were popular at the time. But it lost, so it couldn't do it. And also, Rooster Teeth was also dead. So, yeah. So, that's all the matchups there that were confirmed to happen in this season. But there's also a couple other matchups there. See, there's also some matchups there got tagged along with another matchup there. A hidden matchup there that we don't know anything about. That we have to guess on what it is. And after I'm done saying all these matchups there, I'm going to go ahead and lay them out straight. Well, even though I'm pretty sure the matchups layout is just going to be just when and the matchup shows up there inside the money range. So, time for me to start theorizing. So, first matchup I think is going to happen there is most definitely a Joker versus Giorno. I mean, out of every matchup that happened or shown in Galactus vs. Unitron's sneak peek or next time trailer, Joker vs. Giorno is the only one we can positively pin down. Now, and after all the blink and you miss it, random shots, this matchup is the one that we can see the most of, and I can see most definitely happening. And so, I'm gonna say this matchup has a really good chance of happening. And so, I'm giving it to this one there happening very soon. Like in the 4 episodes that got confirmed. And next up there was going to be Senator Armstrong versus Vincent Valentine as the matchup that ties into the election that's happening in this year. But since Omni-Man versus Bardock is confirmed to be the first episode of Death Battle is coming back, it's not, and Joker vs. Giorno probably happening in the second episode, kind of makes it mean that we're gonna have ourselves 2 JoJo matchups in a row, which, spoiler alert, I don't think is going to happen. And so I needed to get something else here. So I'm gonna go with the Cereal Mascot Battle Royale. This matchup has been talked about on the Death Battle cast non-stop. Heck, it's even mentioned inside the Death Battle Kickstarter page. So, it only makes sense here for him to do it here. And I'll be down to see it there. I want to see what they can cook up with this matchup. Next up there, I'm going to say is going to be the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sylvester Stallone. You're probably wondering why this matchup of all. Not only, because in its Death Battle cast episode, when we get to see its Death Battle cast sneak peek episode, we'll probably get to see and hear why Death Battle made Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black. And I kind of want to see why they made that too. I'm interested in it there on why they made it there. I'm not asking why they made it there as in like, what was they thinking kind of way. I'll just in a way I'm interested in why they made it there and why everybody hates it. Because I feel like I'm the last person on Earth that doesn't outright hate Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black. I don't like it. It's like a 4, but it's like a 4 out of 10 for me. It's not the worst. It's not perfect, but it's reasonable and tolerable at best. so I can live with it. But next up there for the match that's gonna be coming alongside with the rematch battle, I'm gonna say is Wily versus Tom. Wily vs. Tom is going to be the 9th episode inside this Kickstarter season, right after the rematch battle. Oh, I mean, Bill vs. Discord was, and Culver Zox technically was. So, it only makes sense for this matchup too as well. Next up there we have another tie-in matchup there to a thing that's going to be popular in getting an extra season. Actually, a show known as Hasbin Hotel. And yep, season 2 of Hasbin Hotel has been confirmed, and in sneak peeks of it coming there. It's about to come in around about somewhere in 2025. Next year. So, Death Battle will probably capitalize on it. But which Hasbin Hotel match will they go off of there? There's so many options, so how could they possibly... Okay, I will stop beating around the bush. It's Allosaur vs. Black Hat. Yep, out of all Hasbin Hotel matchups there, Allosaur vs. Black Hat stood above the rest. Yes, and it also brings a new character, or he's into Death Battle. Of Villainous. I don't know anything about Villainous, but for what I've seen, little bits and pieces of it there, Black Hat is kind of like some all-powerful being with abilities. You could have a whole lot of abilities. It also has references to other Cartoon Network shows along the time. That's right, that show was made on Cartoon Network, even though it felt like it's more fitting for Adult Swim. It has a lot of references to other shows, and Black Hat has a lot of abilities and powers. As long as we get to see a nice little army battle of henchmen, and then I'll be happy with this matchup there. Next up there we have ourselves another web show matchup there, and to hold on things for a little bit there, I gotta get this off my back there first. Yeah, I need to get this right off my back, okay? I was wondering where I put this. It's not telling me to tell you the truth there. Death Battle needs to use more web shows there. People are saying that animated films don't get enough justice on Death Battle. Oh boy, or web shows don't get enough justice on Death Battle. And before you say it, that Ruby and Red vs. Blue got on Death Battle, so in their web show, so it's not as bad for them. Those two shows were owned by Rooster Teeth. Well, were owned by Rooster Teeth, but sadly died out. So, in Death Battle was owned by Rooster Teeth, so it only made sense for them to do tie-ins with those shows because their parent company owned them. So, yeah. Made sense. Anyway, now that I got that off my chest there, time to put in another web show. Character jump in this one. And coincidentally enough there, it just so happens to be my favorite web show, Murder Drones. And I like that show. It's my favorite web show on the internet. But it also has a lot of match there. But unlike Hasbin Hotel, there's no one big matchup there that overthrows them all others. There's a massive butt ton of them there. There's six main characters that have death battles there. Yet some of them aren't that good. But Dolphins Evan is boring, and all of our other matchups there are other than Kevin 11. Evan are trash. I never got V versus Power. V versus World is very interesting. I would like to see it happen, but I'm not sure it's going to going to happen with how not popular Whirl is. His N versus Blade Wolf is okay. Kibu dies. He's in the hole. And Jay versus Sector is a matchup I do really like. In Mortal Kombat 1 is getting its new DLC here. So I'm hoping that they can do another Mortal Kombat matchup there, and hopefully bring back Sector that give us some justice after he basically did not do that much there, and then get his butt kicked by Bulgar in his matchup. But sadly, I don't think Jay versus Sector is going to be the one. So sadly, it has to go. So that leaves there's two characters with a whole lot of matchups there. Well, let's start with the main antagonist, Murder Jones Sin, who has two good matchups, well, three, but I never got really interested inside of the one and only Agent Weston Smith versus Sin, so I would pass on that matchup. The only thing good about that matchup could be its death there, but even then, I'm pretty sure people can probably see it coming from a mile away. Sin versus Skynet is a very fun and creative matchup, but then again, a disassembly drone can beat a T-800 any day of the week. So yeah. And now we have Gabriel, and that matchup is really good, but it's mainly known for its Death Battle fandom wiki page. And that fandom wiki page is very popular and is very fun, and I recommend you read it. But it also took Square also took a lot of creative liberties with Gabriel, since, well, it's an analog horror character. Analog horror doesn't have the budget there for have characters fight, Oh, and it took a lot of creative liberties. So sadly, it has to go. Now let's go on to a good Death Battle fandom wiki page to a not so good Death Battle fandom wiki page with Sin versus Malware, which I really like the idea of. If you're wondering who Malware is, then let me tell you. Malware is a villain from the Ben 10 series known as Ben 10 and Omniverse. It's the third installment of the Ben 10 series. After their ultimate aliens in Alien Force. Malware is basically a being that can take that does not upgrade tech like his species usually does. Tech upgrades him. It's like a Soviet Russia. In America, tech you upgrade tech. In Soviet Russia, tech upgrades you. So, yeah, and I like to see this matchup be done there. Also, the death could be top-notch material. And it could be a very fun fight all around. I like to see what they can do with this matchup. But now, time for the last one of the Murder Drones catalog, with the character that has more possible matchups than Springtrap does. Talk about him later. Uzi Dorman, who protects the Murder Drones and has herself tons and tons and tons of matchups. But here's the thing: how many of them are good? There's only like 3 ones that I see are good, and I guess in a couple other ones I find tolerable. But the rest there are not that good. Uzi versus Rick Sanchez is a thing. Anyway, let's talk about the good ones. For the first one and most likely one, there is Uzi versus Blitzo. And this matchup is very popular. Hell of a Boss is a very popular show for adults with web show viewers. But I watched it when I was 17, which is how old I am now. So it goes to show you there, age-restricted stuff there is worth squat. I was not traumatized at all. I have mental stability of steel. Anyway, Uh, this matchup is very popular and was one of the first good matchup Uzi had on her belt. So that's something. But as time went on, as Murder Jones got more and more and more feats, this matchup fell off a little bit. Because now it's a big old stomp for Uzi. and yeah, Devil's not no stranger to stomps, but this one's not even close. Highballing, whenever Death Battle has himself a big stomp on their hands, they usually highball the loser and lowball the winner. So, where does this matchup go when we highball and lowball winners and losers? Well, this is what we get. Highballing Blitzo, he survived an explosion in which was inside the circus. So, let's say Blitzo has durability of talent level and his strength scales to that. And I know what you're saying there. Barry, a circus the size of a town? Oh boy, I don't think that's right. And the fact there that, well, the circus wasn't all just disintegrated to ash, it was just damaged. So it's not really town level, but we are giving Blitzo the benefit of a doubt. And Blitzo desperately needs everything he gets. And let's see how strong Uzi is there if we lowball her. I did the math there and kind of lowballed her. And so, and he made this one hole in one of Copper Nine's moons, which comes out to around about continent level. That's right. And Uzi's base is at planet level. Blitzo's base is at wall level, for Pete's sakes. Blitzo doesn't stand a chance. And of course, there's two things I could say about Big Stomp: good banter and a good death, which I think this matchup could do. But if Death Battle doesn't lock the heck in with this matchup is going to be not that great. Now, next up, and that's not all. You can't really do this matchup because, well, Hell of a Boss isn't over yet. And besides, does the Death Battle Curse really want to turn? If they do this matchup, they're gonna make Blitzo into some kind of universe buster or some kind of stuff like that. And who knows? But of course, it was probably gonna happen in Death Battle 25. So I guess this Trouble Season 2 might not be bad here, but who knows what's gonna happen after that? Maybe Vizzy-Pop might drop up Hell of a Boss Season 3 or something like that. And if they're not careful, and then Blitzo is gonna become super powerful. Well, the point is this match is gonna be very tricky. Now let's get on to the next matchup of Uzi versus V1. This matchup I have the least knowledge of there. This matchup is still one of Uzi's good matchups because, well, V1 has a lot of stuff to pull from, and the arsenal will just be very fun to go off of. But I only know V1 from. I've never played Ultra Kill before, or I watched Markiplier play Ultra Kill, so I'm not really invested with this matchup. So, that leaves one matchup left and in this matchup I have invested with the other characters he's fighting. So in the end I decided to go with, for Uzi opponent with Dan! Yeah, that guy. I went with Uzi versus Dan. If you don't know who Dan is, let me tell you. Dan is the main protagonist of the TV show Dan Versus, which ran on the Hub Network. And Murder Jones and Dan Versus have a surprisingly large amount of connections. And with the protag and Uzi and Dan Pacific, with them both being short and short-tempered protagonists. against wants to get revenge on anything. Wants to get revenge on anything that wrongs them, even if it may be illegal. Uzi with humanity for saying the murder drones, and then with any person, place, thing, and even concept that dares wrong him. And both also wear black, have issues with their parents, had important events happen to them at camp, had a tall old boy, which is not the smartest artist, and who tries to help them any way they can, and is very close with them. Alongside, they're also sometimes with a girl, which is a master of kicking butt there, who is tolerated by the protags at the best of times and insulted every other time. And is seen as eye candy, and that the main villains try to steal their lives / identities. In both shows, those co-creators said they want to do more with the characters / shows. Those of Glitch Productions and Chris Pearson. So it's also pretty darn crazy how many similarities they have there. And this match was also pretty close. Well, if you do some, if you look at it in the right direction. And if you give Dan stuff from Dan versus the Game and Lowball Uzi, then Dan has a chance of winning and can make this matchup very close. But if you don't, then he just gets eviscerated. And if you don't give him stuff from Dan versus the Game, then Dan does not do well against Uzi. But this is then one of Dan's best matchups, because this other matchup is Suction Cup Man. A man that has only 4 episodes and not gonna last well. Anyway, I spent enough time harping over murder drones for one video. So let's get on to the next one. Shall we? Next up there, we have another matchup that was in the Tournament of Champions. But which matchup will I go for? This match was going to... I'll tell you. This match was going to be big, important, and one of the greatest ones that ever graced the Tournament of Champions poll. Of course, I am talking about the one and only Homer versus Peter. You guys are probably wondering, Barry, why Homer versus Peter and not Luz versus Ann? Or Monokuma versus Koro Sensei? Or one of the other big matchups? Well, that's simple. Or Sand versus the Judge. Again, that's simple. Not only had those 4 matchups gotten their battles on the show that was scratching our death battle itch of called Fan Battle. Those matches could have been done at any point in time. So yeah, Homer versus Peter had a history of death battle there, with one of the co-creators, Sam, and saying there that they were a little concerned about this matchup. They were saying that it would be hard for them to do both shows justice. But apparently they figured it out there to do both shows justice, since it got in the Tournament of Champions. It even has itself his own fan-made track. And of course, I was on this matchup side ever since it got on the Tournament of Champions. Sadly, it lost to Kratos versus Azura. So, sigh. Anyway, I still wanted him to do Homer versus Peter. Homer versus Peter is fun and excitement. I mean, well, the main thing the main question is that if they're a composite or not. But I'm not sure. Well, if you composite Homer and then he has himself a whole lot of stuff there, it means that he could beat Peter. But I feel like the creators have. But if Death Battle has trouble doing the shows justice, both shows justice, then what makes you think they are going to be able to do all the other spin-off of games, video, those comics and all the other shebang off shows and all the other shebang there is. The only thing I can feel like they're probably going to give both there is their own gags. Like, you're going to give Peter sort of cutaway gags, and you're going to give Homer couch gags. Like, those feats from couch gags and cutaway gags will be taken into consideration in this matchup, that's for sure. But even with that, and if that, there I will likely to see this matchup happen. So here's hoping it does. Next up, we have ourselves is a one and only Marvel versus DC matchup. We had a DC versus non-Marvel battle. We had a Marvel versus non-DC battle. But where's a Marvel versus DC matchup? Well, I guess here it is now. And the one I think comes to mind when you hear of a death battle having a Marvel and DC character in it, and that comes to mind first and foremost, is going to be the Scarecrow versus Mysterio. Again, I like to see their illusions work there, and it's going to be pretty fun to see. Not really much I can say about this matchup there, but now let's get on to the next one. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's had a 10-year anniversary some time ago, so Death Battle and we're going to capitalize on it. But which matchup will it be? There's so many Five Nights at Freddy's matchups there to go off of. There's a possible choose just... Okay, fine. I know I did this joke already, but I'm doing it again. And it's Springtrap versus Junko. Yeah, it's obvious there. They even referred to this matchup there inside one of the Death Past. Yeah, of course it's happening. So, yeah. But Springtrap, just like Uzi before him, had himself a ton, and I mean a ton of matchups. There's Dio, which is trash. There's the man in the suit who should fight a Dark Iron Man. And there's Chucky, which has gained a lot of popularity during the past time. So it's more popular now than it ever has been, so it might have a chance of happening. But then again, Chucky versus Slappy is a thing, so yeah. I don't know much about Junko. I mean, I played the first two Danganronpa games. Games never really got around to the third game. So yeah. I'd like to see how they do this matchup there. However they do it there, as long as it's good, I'll be okay with it. Now, last but not least, a matchup that I think might happen in this season. Most of all, there is going to be Fall Guys versus Among Us. And best of all, it's the penultimate episode. So it's a penultimate episode. That's a joke. So yeah, I like how this matchup there. It's funny, silly, and people really like it. And they also had a cameo inside Bilber's Discord. So yeah, I like to see how this matchup turns out there, and how they take all this other stuff there and put them all into one there to make one good, elegant fight. We also might get a reference to its sneak peek. It's fan-made sneak peek. So yeah, I'll be down to see that. And with that, the season is complete. So, allow me to run down how I think the season will go. Now, let's do this. This episode 1 of this Kickstarter season is confirmed to be Omni-Man versus Bardock. So there's no changing that. Episode 2, I feel like, will be Joker versus Giorno, because, well, it got teased in Galactus versus Unitron, and is very likely to happen. In episode 3, he will be the cereal mascot Battle Royale. With not much really going on for it. Episode 4 will be Bowser vs. Eggman, because people really want to see this one as a season finale, and it will technically be one, because it's going to be ending off Death Battle 24, so that's something. So it technically is a finale, but not quite in the grand scheme of things. It's both is and is not. Episode 5 will be the joke matchup, or the kinda not canon matchup of Light Yagami versus Columbo. Oh, not really much to say. Next up there, for episode number 6, we have Kratos versus Azura. Then 7 being Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sylvester Stallone. Episode 8 will be the rematch battle of Shadow versus Mewtwo. Episode 9 will be Tom versus Wily. The 10th matchup will be Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake, made by Luis. Episode 11 will be Mimito versus Shinigami. Episode 199, aka episode 12 of the Kickstarter season, will be Black Hat versus Alistair. The 200th episode will be Ash versus Yugi. Episode 14, or aka episode 201 will be Aang versus the Traveler. Episode 15 will either be Uzi versus Dan, or Sin versus Malware, or any Murder Jones matchups, to be honest. Episode 16 will be a Torian 3D fight. Episode 17 will be Kyle Rayner versus Simon the Digger. Episode 18 will be a Homer versus Peter. Episode 19 will be the live action fight of Captain Jack Sparrow versus Indiana Jones, which I said I would talk about it and I almost forgot about it, so I'm talking about it now. Now, I really like this matchup there. I like Indiana Jones. Well, I like the animal train scene from Indiana Jones. And I always wanted to see Pirates of the Caribbean, but never got the time to. So I like to see them do this matchup. Yep. So, yeah. Episode 20 will be Scarecrow versus Mysterio. Episode 21 will be Ruby versus Maka. Episode 22, who will be Springtrap versus Junko, or William Afton versus Junko, or William Afton versus Junko Enoshima. Episode 23 will be Hulk versus Godzilla, the penultimate episode, or episode 24 will be Fall Guys versus Among Us, in which leads all to the season finale of Gru versus Megamind. So yeah, that's how I think this season will go out. And if you think differently, then I would like to hear your fears in the comments if they're open. But until then, hopefully I'll come back sooner and not have you waiting so darn long. But until then, my name is Barry Trumley, and I'm not. My name is Barry Trumley, and I'm not extinct just yet. And before I sign off, I have myself a new playlist of the Barry Trumley lore, which is technically a web series of me. All my videos are there, plus 3 other videos that have me in it, in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah. I hope you guys like it. Like that playlist there, and this video will also be on that playlist. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I highly recommend you do that. But if you're already watching this video and you've already seen it all, then well, I'll see you later. Bye-bye!